guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's shooting takes me to one of my favourite areas to hunt and shoot, and that is in the Riverina in southern New South Wales. Most of you already know that the drought in Australia has had a severe impact on farmers and livestock. To be honest, I don't even know how these animals even survive in such harsh conditions. It feels just like a dust bowl, and farmers desperately need rain and a lot of it. And it just hasn't come in a lot of those farming regions. It's been a bit over 12 months since our last trip here shooting rabbits and long-range targets, and the conditions have certainly changed. With rabbits very thin on the ground, it's going to make conditions very tough. Farmers have been struggling to get access to water for their stock and feed, with water literally running past their front doors, yet they receive no allocation. Government bureaucracy prohibits them from watering their feed crops, for which they desperately need, and soon. Now that we unpacked and got settled after a mammoth drive, it was time to check out our mate Arthur and Alex's new quads and grab a bite to eat. Arthur and Alex are joining us from Melbourne, and we're all going to enjoy a week's worth of shooting, relaxing and hanging out with good mates. The boys decided to throw on a full spread of Greek gyros, which was absolutely delicious. Right, we've got Arthur here. He's going to put the gyros on the barbecue.
It's lazy.
It was sort of less dramatic than I thought it was going to be.
Ka-ching!
Done. No, we're just
So how long are we going to have this on for, man? What's the story?
Till it's fucking finished. Till we eat it all. One more down.
Yeah,
That charcoal really burns well
just
too.
thinking.
Started down.
Start it down to seal. Go down. We'll seal it and then we'll raise it. Just put it in the bottom. Bottom of my picture label.
Look at it. Look at all that lamb. Beautiful lamb shoulder. Is this going to be tasty? Is the marinade good?
I hope so. It's the first time we've used this.
Particular marinade.
This particular marinade or butcher.
Yeah.
Up one.
Tell you what, like I said previously, guys, these guys know how to cook.
It's only down one. Do you want to go down
Beautiful.
another one? That's a bit. No, it's fine.
That's fine. No, I want to seal it, that's all.
With lunch out of the way and our bellies full, it was now time to get into a bit of shooting. As I was driving up through the back cow paddock to the hill I shoot on, I noticed what was going to be probably one of the only rabbits I was going to get a chance on all trip. And at only 210 metres, I blew it with a hard miss. It was a hard miss to the left, and the only good part was on the slow motion replay where you can see the bullet in flight, which I've got to be honest was pretty cool. Not being 100% sure why I missed, I set up a target at 100 metres to check zero. That's when it all made sense. I committed the cardinal sin by not checking the rifle zero before I started hunting. And as they say, you live and learn. After having a few shots at 100 metres, the scope was telling me that I was hitting around 2 to 3 inches to the left. It's possible the scope was knocked off zero on the bumpy roads and corrugations on the long drive down. Doesn't really matter the reason, I'm just glad to have it fixed and get it back on zero. Now, yesterday I went hunting and I had a chance on a rabbit. This is the reason I missed. It was 2 inches off to the left at 100 meters. So now that I've recentered it, that's going to make a huge difference at 400, 500, 600 meters when I'm actually shooting using the Kestrel. So I've recentered it. What we're going to do, we're just going to jump in the car now. We're going to run back to our spot and we'll do some checks on the 300mm gong. So not too bad. I'm not happy with that. I don't know how the scope got knocked off center, but that's okay. It's back to center now and we'll see how we go. On this trip, I'm shooting several rifles, but this one is a Tikka T3X in 260 Remington. It has a 20 MOA Contessa rail, the APA little bastard muzzle brake, and all fitted into the GRS Berserk stock. For optics, I'm running a Delta Striker 4.5 to 30 by 56 on Night Force ultralight medium rings. My reloads are 42.5 grains of 2209 powder, pushing a 143 grain Hornady ELDX at approximately 2,650 feet per second. Now, if you ever get a chance, guys, I really do love these 6.5 caliber rifles, and if you're looking at one, I urge you to get one too. With the rifle zeroed in, it was time to stretch the legs of the rifle out to 465 meters on a 300mm gong in treacherously windy conditions. You can see in the background the wind-affected trees blowing all over the place. Swirling winds definitely aren't my favourite shooting conditions, that's for sure. Alright guys, not too bad. Pretty impressed with the 260 Remington 143 grain ELDX. As you can see, winds are absolutely treacherous right now. It really sucks actually, but the Kestrel did pretty good. I think it was 1.1 mils for wind, 2.6 mils elevation, and I'm pretty happy with that, considering, you know, that the wind is 25, almost 25 kilometers an hour. I was shooting back from that tree line down there, and you'll see a bit more footage a little bit later when I get it off the camera, but can't really complain with that at all, considering the wind. And 474 meters, basically 475 meters. No complaints from me. We're gonna take out the 243 tomorrow and stretch those legs, and we'll see how we go. After yesterday's success, we travelled up to the back of the farm and decided to stretch the 260 out. And this time to 655 metres. I've never shot this far before, but it was time to really see what this gun and these reloads could do. For 654 metres, 260. Looking back at the footage, there's nothing more exciting than hitting the target and watching the slow motion vapor trail of the bullet in flight. It just goes to show how much elevation is required for the 260 with a 143 grain bullet. Alright guys, it's the last afternoon. I was shooting down from that tree line, approximately 654 meters. I put in the Kestrel data, and I mean, don't forget guys, this is a less than 300 mil gong, 291 mil. This is the size of a soccer ball, and I think I missed 3 shots out of about 20 at 654 meters. I'm really happy with the 260 Remington. It's just, I really can't say anything bad about it. I'm really loving these 6.5mm cartridges. I'm really loving the 143 grain ELDX from Hornady. And I mean, look at that size guys, shooting that from all the way from that tree line, and the wind. I mean, the wind's gotten up just a little bit as well. You probably don't hear it because I got the wind muff on the camera. So I want to finish off by saying, guys, I mean, I've had a great time here on the Riverina. Something I look forward to every single year. Long range shooting is both frustrating, but it's also rewarding. And if you want to get into it, I urge everyone to get into it. I mean, I'm hitting, 300 mil gong at 654 meters. I mean, I missed 3 shots out of 20. I just don't know what to say. It's absolutely amazing. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get into it. You don't have to buy the Kestrels. You don't have to buy into that stuff. You can buy yourself the Strelok app and get started. Learn on your technique. That's something I need to work on, is definitely my technique. But at this stage, I'd be confident to take deer out to probably 550 meters, especially with the shots that I made today. It will depend on wind. I'm not as confident in anything above 600 at this stage, but I'm sure that will come with time, it will come with training, and it will come with practice. And I'm going home tomorrow. It's sad, 8 days have gone that fast. It's just unbelievable. And I just want to thank everyone for watching the channel, and get through this journey, get into hunting and shooting, fishing, because it's bloody awesome. Thanks guys, and I'll see you guys next time. And after a day's shooting, what a better way to end a day than with this awesome sunset before heading home in the morning. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.